I'm Kevin and I'm a celiac.
Like the hardest thing is you have to reiterate like I'm a celiac, not like I'm doing this because I want to be better at my Tai Chi. Like you have to be like, hey, this is serious for me. And some places will have like gluten-friendly menus and you'll be like, gluten-friendly? Well, what does that mean?
You go to a gay-friendly pub, that's a good place. You
Yeah.
go to a gay-free pub,
Yeah.
not a good pub.
People on the bottom level who are just like conscious about eating wheat. They want to be better at things like yoga. Then right above that, there's gluten intolerant. Maybe it's like an allergy that hasn't been diagnosed, but they don't feel good from eating it. Then there's like straight up an allergy to gluten. You go into like shock. And then on top of that is this thing called celiac disease. And it's like the worst of the worst. It's a silent killer, give you cancer in the long run. You're not absorbing as many nutrients. You're not like living as healthy. You don't feel as good. You're tired. You're pooing all the time.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like
all the time.
all the time, literally non-stop.
Is that how you get diagnosed? Like
Yeah.
you go to the doctors and he's like,
And they're
well,
just like, yeah, you keep pooing. When I first found out, my doctor told me that I would be a celiac. I thought he said weed. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you can't have weed anymore. And I was like, how do you even know that? What? Then he just like went into foods that you could put marijuana in. Brownies, cookies, pizza, pasta. And I was like, that's creative. And then I realized he was talking about wheat and I was like, oh, which was pretty funny. Did I just confess to the world?
what's a celiac's least favorite band?
What?
Wheatus.
Oh, gee. Oh, no. I would like to say to all the brewers out there that I think making gluten-free beer is a wonderful and good thing to do, and you should all take it on, but you should learn how to do it really, really well. And don't make like boring beers that don't taste like anything. I think that celiacs want exciting and flavorful beer, just like everybody else. 'Cause I'm just a teenage celiac.
Chris, I challenge you to rap about 3 things. Medically diagnosed disorders, calling too much attention to yourself and being the center of attention, and misdiagnosis from a doctor.
Cool. Medically diagnosed and misdiagnosed from a doctor.
Yeah.
And calling too much attention
Yeah.
to yourself. Lovely stuff. This will be a freestyle about those things. I woke up in the morning and with urgency I got my local bus to the surgery. I saw my doctor, yeah, degree MD. I say, Mr. Doctor, what is wrong with me? He says, first, you don't need to say Mr. Doctor. It's already a title that I got from my university. I went my reward, I went to LSE and then to Oxford because economics is confusing. I was like, whoa, there's no need to have 2 degrees on show. I'll be like, people start to hate you, mate, if you duplicate your certificate. You're like the center of attention and I'm clenching my buttocks. I bend over and I start to kick like an ox because I see the camera, the lube, it goes this. I know I'm in line for a diagnosis. Proctology, it goes up and it lingers. He examines first with all 5 of his fingers. It's a diagnosis that I know is so hasty. It's like KFC cause it's finger licking tasty. The diagnosis I got that he offered me, he took the oath that was by Hippocrates. Wise like Socrates and Plato, but he has always got such a big ego. I talk like Freud, he was the center of attention, so I try to avoid the discussion and I'm rushing and then I just go further. I be like in a mental fervor. He has diagnosed me in the wrong way. I'd be like, why are these words that you're trying to say? They're not correct. I stand erect, stand to attention. I wanna go back to the past, the old declension. I get the details through. He does blood samples. He took a whole armful. It was ample. I'm like, so why'd you say to me you had a bad disease like cancer or HIV? I didn't. It was just HPV. Yeah, you will try this because lots of people have the human papilloma virus. It was fun. I went out in the street. I danced around through confetti. It was so neat. And people say, Chris, you're always in the middle. And that is how I finish. People staring at the solved riddle. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Cool.
Was that as good as a gluten-free beer?
Yeah, it was just as tasty as a gluten-free beer. Make more gluten-free beers.
Make it!
More.
More.